Hello and welcome to Balanced Existence. Today I'm coming on with a very special collective update where, similar to last month's video, which I will link below, we are going to go through all 7 facets of life. And of course, these are just facets that I've created. Many of them have overlap and you can categorize them and apply them to your world and your life and your own facets, as your intuition guides you to. But I'm going to go through all 7 facets and do a collective tarot reading and energy update for each one. So, of course, I am recording this in January 2026, so we are in the new year. But whenever you find this message, it's going to be timeless for you. So, the structure and order of this video and the facets will be, again, similar to the video I did before. So let's dive right in. So with the first facet of life, which is our spirituality and our self-transformation, and I always put this one first because I do believe that at the end of the day, it is the most important one. But of course, we all have different priorities in our life at different times, but I do feel like your spirituality and your self-growth and your self-transformation is kind of the underlying tone to everything else that you do in your life. So this is one to always be certain that you're nurturing and not letting it fall by the wayside. So we have the Tower, wow, the Queen of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. So with the Tower, I'm getting that I'm especially picking up on a collective that may have felt like they were good in this facet and they were just kind of cruising through. But with the Tower card coming up, you may be surprised to receive this card because you feel like you've already done years of inner work. Maybe you feel like just last year or in recent years, you've gone through a Tower moment or many Tower moments. And so you may be receiving this feeling discouraged or surprised by it. But what I'm getting is that paired with the Queen of Swords, this is asking you to take a rational-minded approach in the sense that you understand that the reason for the Tower moments is for your highest good, right? It's for you to reach your highest timeline. And the Queen of Swords doesn't mean that we're lacking, that emotional, intuitive side, but the reason that she's coming forth here, because although some may interpret her to be cold and detached, she is a figure of compassion. Sometimes she'll give constructive criticism that, again, can be received as harsh by some, but she's doing so with compassion, and she is the divine feminine, but she's also aligned with her truth, and she's not going to, sugarcoat or hide that truth. She wants to speak from a place of clarity because she's worked so hard to get to that place of clarity. So with the Tower here, the Queen of Swords is allowing you to see your struggles in a way that you have full understanding as to why you went through them. She brings a mental clarity and intellect, so she can intellectually understand what was best for you. And this can be very helpful because although, of course, we're always prioritizing our intuition and our emotions and that somatic work, it can be out of balance when you only prioritize your emotions and you try to keep your intellectual understanding out of it because you're so, I'm hearing like drowning in emotion. So for the collective that feels like they're constantly trying to do somatic work or constantly needing to do somatic work to keep their emotions regulated, the Queen of Swords is coming in because you're starting to develop your mental clarity, your intellectual understanding of what it is that you go through. And that rational way of thinking is kind of like the parent to your inner child that's able to soothe you and that's able to see the situation in an objective way. And that's very valuable. Of course, we often villainize our mind as like the ego or the thing that gets us into spirals and it does do that, but so do our emotions at times. So again, with the Queen of Swords, we're picking up on this energy of pure truth and understanding. And then we also have the Eight of Pentacles coming out. So this is again a reminder to stay dedicated to your craft, to, keep on the path and keep committed to your work in this area. Keep committed to your spiritual practices. Keep committed to your journaling exercises, especially with the Queen of Swords. She's going to enable you to journal out, what you're experiencing in a way that you can look back and really understand and feel like a sense of comfort in knowing that there is a purpose for what you're going through and that it is serving you and exactly how it is serving you. Whereas the emotions will often just keep you, in that present moment of experiencing it, which again is very valuable and great. But the reason the Queen of Swords is coming out is so that you can understand the story of your journey. And again, I'm hearing to journal it, to capture it. With the Eight of Pentacles, it's again reminding us to, continue on those spiritual and self-transformational practices, whether it's reading, your books, maybe you're reading self-transformation books, maybe you're learning a new topic in this realm, but maybe it's just as simple as your meditation practices or your breathing exercises or even your somatic work. I mean, the Eight of Pentacles is an earth sign, and so we are getting this energy of grounding ourselves, in our work, in our routines, in our practices. So that is what I have for our first facet. Let's move on to the second facet of health and wellness. So this includes things like your sleep, your nutrition, your fitness and exercise, as well as your mental health and well-being. And routines are a big part of this facet. So your morning routine, your evening routine, again, there's going to be overlap with other facets. For example, we talked about having a meditation or journaling routine, which you may find fits well under the spirituality and self-transformation facet, our first facet. But ultimately, like our practical kind of grounding routines that we do on a day-to-day for our health and wellness are covered in this facet. So we're getting the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so with the Ace of Swords coming through, this is definitely new ideas, even like a new perspective, like the way you wake up and you feel motivated to do your routines. Especially if you're watching this as I'm posting it in the new year, you may be kind of riding that high of the New Year's resolutions. But the Ten of Pentacles is here to show us that this isn't just some, excitement that's going to die down by February or March, right? Like this is a new way that you look at your life, that you look at your routines, that you look at your health and wellness and even prioritize it. And for some of the collective, you may have had some kind of wake-up call in regards to your health and wellness, like realizing that you just cannot live this way anymore. You cannot continue to not get enough sleep or, make poor nutrition choices or, not do your movement and workouts and walks, whatever it may be for you. Like you may have hit this like wall where you're like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I have to prioritize this. So the Ace of Swords is coming in with that fresh new mindset and clarity as well. Like not only have you committed to this facet and your routines, but you also know exactly how to go about doing it. And if you don't feel this way at this time, Spirit is inviting you to take the time, write out your routines, and get yourself to that place, because there is a very powerful energy in the collective that is available to you if you dedicate the time and the commitment. So for example, if you take the time, you're going to have a influx of ideas and motivations that are going to flow to you. So like act on it now, because this is the time to really make these changes that are going to, again, with the 10 of Pentacles, become part of you, become part of your life, and even part of your legacy. I'm hearing like, this is the kind of mom you're going to be, or this is the kind of partner you're going to be, right? Especially for those who may be single or don't have kids. Like, it may seem like a stretch or even drastic to link your routines to something as huge as like your family legacy or like your generational wealth. And I'm also hearing like health is wealth here, right? Because when the 10 of Pentacles comes through, it often talks about, of course, material abundance being the earthly pentacles element. But this is also just about general wealth, which comes through health, right? Like if you are in good health, you live a long life, you have a greater impact, you have more quality time with your family. I mean, it's all linked together. So it's coming through so strongly here that your routines are the fundamental key building blocks to you becoming your higher version of self. And you do this by committing to the routines, constantly seeking to improve them. I'm also hearing to like make a calendar event each month, like on the same day each month, to check in on your routines and tweak them as needed. And yeah, you may want to write them on a piece of paper and hang them by your bed, or maybe you really want to get into this and do like a tracker, a habit tracker or something like that. But I'm just getting that with the Ace of Swords, like you're going to have a lot of new ideas and improvements, as to how you want to take action on these improvements in your health and wellness. So that is what I have for you there. But a huge amount of abundance coming through, I have to say, with the 10 of Pentacles by you prioritizing your health and wellness. So don't take this facet lightly, and really ride that wave and ride this, this flowing energy of innovation, right, with your health and wellness and your routines. Okay, so let's go into the third facet, which is our free time. So this is like many different things. And of course, take it as your intuition guides you. This could be the things you do for fun, recreation, your hobbies. This could also be adventures that you go on, like weekend trips or travel that you plan, things like that. But, it could be something as simple as doing a crossword puzzle or a adult coloring book, or it could be something big like planning a trip that you've been wanting to go on for a really long time. So, or it could be like a passion project, right? Like maybe creating music or whatever this is for you. So we have the 8 of Swords, 8 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so with the 8 of Swords, I'm picking up on this energy of feeling like you don't have enough time. And maybe you felt this way for a long time, like you just don't understand how it is that we can prioritize the free time. Like maybe you just feel like completely overwhelmed. But of course, the 8 of Swords speaks to being trapped, like your own mental entrapments that you impose upon yourself. And with the 4 of Pentacles here, this is a desire for stability, but also clinging too tightly to something unhealthy, some unhealthy attachment or some old way of doing things. So I'm interpreting the 4 of Pentacles as this kind of attachment to your old way of living. And, having just gotten clear on our routines in the previous facet, the 4 of Pentacles is your reminder to release the old excuses, release the old ways of doing things where you would come home from work and you would just watch TV instead of taking the time to cook a dinner, do something that's one of your hobbies for fun, right? Like the 4 of Pentacles is allowing you to release that so that you can then receive actual security, that the 10 of Pentacles brought us in the previous facet, right? So release the old thought patterns and like limiting beliefs, like the ways that you limit your potential for abundance on a day-to-day. Because even just taking 10 minutes to do a passion project or a fun hobby can make a huge difference in how you show up on a day-to-day. And with the Eight of Wands, I mean, once you get into this flow, once you commit to 10 minutes a day or an hour a week or however, feels right for you, once you commit to that, you are going to have this momentum that just simply cannot be stopped. And it's going to, with this Eight of Wands energy, fuel you into higher versions of yourself, greater creative flow, greater abundance, greater self-awareness, like all of the benefits that come with your creative projects or with, taking the time to just do something that's fun for you, do something that relaxes you, gifting yourself that downtime to do something that fuels you in that way. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave the reading here because I'm going to do a part 1 and a part 2 because I feel like already what we've come across today has been a great spark for you to, do a self-assessment and really analyze your current routines, the current way that you wake up and go through your life. I don't want to keep going through the facets and then that message kind of gets lost. So I really invite you to take this time, put your phone down, get a journal, and like the first facet said, write about your kind of intellectual assessment of your tower moments, your spirituality transformations. Take the time to really, even if it's just 5 minutes or 10 minutes, to just journal all of that out. And then, like we talked about with the second and third facets, get a piece of paper, write out your routines, take a few steps of your routines that you want to especially prioritize. And again, you can get really creative with this. You can do habit trackers, whether it's on your phone or on paper. I mean, I'm getting for a lot of the collective, like these first few months of the year or whenever you're listening to this is a great time for you to commit to the trial and error so that you can, commit to anchoring and ingraining these certain routine steps into your day-to-day. Make it so that it's second nature. Just like when you wake up and you brush your teeth, I mean, you don't forget to brush your teeth, right? Like similarly, let's make our meditation or our journaling or our skincare routine, maybe that's like an area that you're slacking on, or maybe you want to dance more, maybe you want to do more workouts, maybe you want to have time to cook healthier food. There's so much, right? There's so much that we want to do. So it's so important for you to do that assessment and figure out what it is that's crucial for you to do on a daily basis, right? And so we're talking about themes of spiritual hygiene in terms of just what we need to do for general upkeep. We're talking about that which is going to provide you mental well-being, whether it's journaling, whether it's, time to talk to a friend, which that will be in the second video when we talk about kind of our social and community facet. But we're also talking about, of course, the physical stuff. So what you eat, how often you sleep, like, are you going to bed on time? Like, what are you spending your evenings or your free time doing? And again, physical in terms of our workouts. Like, if you can map out everything that matters to you and then pick a time to do it, and then again, track it as you wish, but, and it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It's not meant to be perfect, nor will it ever be. And I mean that both in the actual routine that you come up with as well as your execution of the routine. But the important thing is that you're committed to it and you're trying, because that's what's going to bring you abundance, as has been so clearly channeled through this reading, right? So again, take this time right now to, map out your routine, and then from the routines and the kind of general health and wellness kind of practical maintenance, you also add in your free time, because it's just as important as the health and wellness. And, allow yourself to think creatively, and you will find this sweet spot of momentum with your routines and your free time, and that is going to bring you abundance, and it's going to anchor into your being. It's going to be something that you can sustain long term. So take this time to do this. I would love to hear from you in the comments what you are committing to doing. Maybe you've already done this. Maybe you already have kind of your New Year's resolutions fresh in your mind. But again, whenever you're listening to this, this is a message for you. So ride this wave of energy, open yourself to this creative flow, like really make a ritual out of it. You can light a candle, you can have like a nice drink. But Spirit is saying to really take the time to do this. And I will be on tomorrow with the remaining 4 facets, which is going to be your home and environment, your love life, your social and community, and then your finances and career. And yeah, again, I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope that this guidance treats you well and you get amazing breakthroughs leading you towards even more abundance. And I will see you on the next reading. Bye.